Breaking news! Celebrate, my friend. The Baltimore Ravens secured a significant win in Week 12 over the Los Angeles Chargers, defeating them 30-23 and bouncing back from a tough loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, despite the win, Lamar Jackson didn't hesitate to challenge his offense, making it clear in post-game comments that improvements are needed. I'll tell you all about that in a moment, and we also need to talk about some important points if we want to make it to the Super Bowl. If you believe that the Baltimore Ravens will make it to the Super Bowl, hit that like button hard. If possible, write something like, "Go Ravens! On to the Super Bowl!" I really believe in that. Now, pay attention to what Lamar Jackson said after the game. Later, I want to hear your opinion, whether you agree with him or not. Okay, let's go. Jackson called out the team's inconsistency in starting games, saying, "We have to get back into the rhythm of starting our games the right way." This statement highlighted an ongoing issue for the Ravens, as they have been held scoreless in 5 of their last 6 first quarters. It's a statistic that raises concerns, especially for a team with playoff aspirations. The game itself had its moments of brilliance, but it also exposed areas that need attention. Derrick Henry had an impactful performance, carrying the offense on critical plays. Jackson acknowledged Henry's contribution, but emphasized that the team's slow starts are something they must address. Early in the game, the Ravens found themselves down 10-0, a deficit that could have been disastrous against stronger opponents. Jackson's leadership shined through as he emphasized the need for balance, saying, "We were doing a great job early in the season, but as the season went on, somehow, someway, we were horrible early in the game." This win was not just about putting points on the board, it was a test of resilience. Jackson's touchdown to Rashad Bateman and a critical 4th down conversion underscored the team's ability to rise to the occasion. Yet, the question remains, why does this team need a wake-up call before it starts firing on all cylinders? The Ravens' offense showed flashes of excellence, particularly in 3rd and 4th down situations, converting over 50% of their 3rd down attempts and going a perfect 3 for 3 on 4th downs. These are encouraging signs, but the inconsistency in early game execution is a concern for fans and analysts alike. Defensively, the Ravens demonstrated why they remain a formidable force, stepping up even without key leader Roquan Smith. The linebacker by committee approach, featuring players like Malik Harrison and Christian Welch, paid off. Harrison, despite a shaky start, ended the game with 13 tackles, while Welch and others filled the gaps effectively. The defense managed to limit Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, who struggled to connect on deep throws throughout the game. It's worth noting that if Lamar Jackson had missed similar opportunities, the criticism from the media would likely have been deafening, a point that speaks to the double standards often applied to quarterbacks. One of the standout moments in the game came from the Ravens' offensive line. They provided solid protection for Jackson, who was only sacked once by Derwin James. While Jackson's mobility often masks potential weaknesses in protection, the unit's performance was commendable, allowing the offense to maintain its rhythm during critical moments. This synergy between the offensive line and the running game, led by Derrick Henry, showcased the potential of this Ravens team when everything clicks. Off the field, comments from Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack added a layer of intrigue to the matchup. Mack, when discussing Derrick Henry, remarked, "I don't think it's hard to play against that guy," adding fuel to what could become a heated rivalry should these teams meet again in the playoffs. Mack's comments, while perhaps aimed at motivating his own defense, come off as questionable when considering Henry's impactful performance in the game. Statements like these add drama to the narrative and will surely be remembered if a postseason rematch occurs. As the Ravens prepare for a crucial Week 13 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, followed by their much-needed bye week, the team finds itself at a crossroads. Can they use this win as a springboard to fine-tune their approach and eliminate slow starts? With playoff positioning on the line, the importance of consistency cannot be overstated. What do you think, Ravens fans? Are you confident that this team can address its issues and become the dominant force we know they can be? Or do you share Lamar Jackson's concerns about their slow starts? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts as we gear up for what promises to be an intense finish to the season. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Ravens' Week 12 win was how they managed to adapt to their challenges mid-game. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken's adjustments seemed to play a significant role, particularly in how the Ravens handled the Chargers' defensive schemes. The use of play action, especially in critical 3rd down situations, allowed Lamar Jackson to exploit gaps in coverage. Monken's play calling, while criticized at times for its conservative approach early in games, showed flashes of creativity that could serve the team well in the coming weeks. However, as Lamar mentioned, the team cannot rely on mid-game adjustments alone to secure victories. Lamar Jackson himself displayed a blend of poise and determination, finishing the game with 265 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. His ability to extend plays under pressure remains one of the most valuable assets for the Ravens offense. Yet, Jackson's self-assessment shows his commitment to improvement. "We need to be firing on all cylinders from the first whistle," he said during the post-game interview. This attitude resonates with fans who have seen the highs and lows of his performance this season. Jackson's leadership, both on and off the field, continues to be a driving force for this team. On the receiving end, Rashad Bateman had a breakout game with a season-high 87 yards and a touchdown. Bateman's resurgence is a promising sign for an offense that has struggled to establish a consistent aerial attack. Meanwhile, rookie Zay Flowers remained a reliable option, contributing key receptions in crucial moments. Tight end Mark Andrews, as always, provided a safety net for Jackson, although his numbers were relatively modest compared to past performances. The chemistry between Jackson and his receiving core is building, but there's still work to be done to ensure these connections translate into early game dominance. The Ravens defense deserves considerable credit for their role in securing this win. Despite the absence of Roquan Smith, the unit displayed remarkable depth and discipline. Kyle Hamilton's versatility stood out as he moved seamlessly between safety and slot corner, disrupting the Chargers' passing game. Meanwhile, the defensive front, led by Justin Matabike and Jadeveon Clowney, consistently pressured Justin Herbert, forcing him into hurried throws and limiting his effectiveness. Matabike's ability to collapse the pocket has been a revelation this season, and his performance against the Chargers further solidified his status as a key playmaker. Special teams also played a pivotal role in the victory. Justin Tucker, who has been a model of consistency throughout his career, nailed all 3 of his field goal attempts, including a crucial 54-yarder in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Devin DuVernay's contributions in the return game helped the Ravens maintain favorable field position, a factor that often goes unnoticed but proved critical in a tightly contested matchup like this one. Looking ahead, the Ravens face their toughest challenge yet, a road game against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, with their explosive offense led by Jalen Hurts and a defense known for its physicality, will test every facet of the Ravens' game. Lamar Jackson acknowledged the importance of the upcoming matchup, saying, "We've got to clean up our mistakes fast. Philly is a team that won't let you recover if you start slow." This sentiment underscores the urgency within the Ravens locker room as they prepare for a game that could define their season. The bye week that follows will offer a much-needed opportunity for rest and reflection. However, with playoff seeding on the line, the Ravens cannot afford to look past their next opponent. Every win matters in the tightly contested AFC, and the Ravens must prove they can compete with the best teams in the league. Now it's your turn, Ravens flock. How do you feel about this team heading into Week 13? Are they ready to make a statement against the Eagles, or do you think their slow starts could be their undoing? Share your thoughts, predictions, and concerns in the comments. We'll be back to break down all the action after what promises to be a high-stakes battle in Philadelphia. Stay tuned!